All right, so picture this. You're in that IELTS speaking exam, or maybe you're at some kind of networking event, and you're trying to impress a potential employer.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to talk about, what you've accomplished, maybe some challenges that you've overcome, but it went well.
Yeah.
It just doesn't cut it. You need something with a bit more punch.
Right.
You want to sound natural and fluent and confident.
For sure.
Well, that's where today's deep dives comes in.
Okay.
We're tackling winning idioms.
I like it.
Those phrases that add a little bit of color and punch to the way that we talk about success.
Yeah, and we're not just going to define them. We're going to really sort of unpack those deeper meanings, how they reflect our cultural values, and most importantly for you, how to use them effectively
Exactly.
in situations just like the ones you're preparing for.
Yeah, because we're working from a document that is called a ILETS.
Okay.
And it looks like it's from a book or a course on winning idioms for IELTS and just everyday life. And it's really smartly categorized, too. It starts with idioms about achieving goals.
Yes, and some of these are so visually striking.
Oh, yeah.
They really paint a picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
It's not just about winning.
Right.
It's about that unexpected, almost unbelievable win.
Exactly. It taps into our fascination with luck and sudden success. You know, like that feeling when you're playing a slot machine.
Oh, yeah?
And all of a sudden all the lights are flashing and the coins are pouring out.
Yeah, but hold on. Isn't there a little bit of a downside to that idiom, hit the jackpot? Like it suggests maybe you didn't actually earn that success.
Okay.
It was just pure chance.
That's a great point. It does have that element of chance.
Right.
Maybe even a hint of unearned fortune.
Yeah.
So that might not be the best idiom to use if you want to emphasize,
Yeah.
hard work and strategy.
So context is key.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to another idiom about reaching goals. Come out on top.
Okay.
Now, this one feels different to me. It feels a little bit less about luck and more about...
Tenacity, definitely come out on top, suggests competition, a struggle for dominance.
Okay.
So you've battled your way through a crowded field and emerged victorious.
So if I was describing, say, a challenging work project where I had to lead a team and we faced all sorts of obstacles but ultimately succeeded, come out on top, would be a good way to sum up that experience.
Perfect. It highlights your leadership, your ability to navigate those challenges,
Right.
and ultimately your team's triumph. And it would work beautifully in an IELTS speaking task where you're asked to describe a time you overcame a difficult situation.
Okay, last one in this category of goal-getting idioms.
Right.
Knock it out of the park. Now, I love this one because it just sounds so powerful.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just about succeeding. It's about exceeding all expectations, leaving a lasting impression.
It's like hitting a home run in a crucial game.
Yeah.
Everybody's cheering, you feel like a hero.
Exactly. And you can use it in various contexts.
Yeah.
Imagine you're in an IELTS writing task.
Okay. And they ask you to describe a time when you achieved something significant.
Yeah.
You could say, I was determined to knock it out of the park with my presentation, and the positive feedback I received showed that my hard work had paid off.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
It not only uses the idiom naturally, but also demonstrates, your vocabulary, your ability to really convey your accomplishments effectively.
And what's interesting is that even though these idioms are all about success,
Yeah.
they also hint at the effort and determination that's required to get there.
Right.
So it's not just about the outcome.
Right.
It's about the journey as well.
Right. And speaking of journeys, our source material also dives into idioms for career and academic success.
Okay.
Which is probably where a lot of our listeners are focusing their energy right now.
It is fascinating how these idioms can be applied to those very specific journeys.
Yeah.
Like climbing the corporate ladder.
Right.
Or making a name for yourself in academia.
Okay, so let's break down climb the ladder first.
It seems pretty straightforward, right? Working your way up step by step.
Yeah, it does seem simple on the surface, but there's a nuance to it that's worth exploring.
Okay.
It's not just about upward mobility. It's about that persistence and ambition required to reach the top.
So it's not about taking shortcuts or getting lucky breaks.
No.
It's about putting in the work consistently over time.
Exactly. Think about how you could use this in an IELTS speaking task.
Okay.
Where they ask about your career aspirations.
Sure.
You could say, I'm determined to climb the ladder in my field, and I believe that my dedication and skills will help me achieve that goal.
I like that. It shows ambition, but also highlights the importance of effort and skill. Okay, now, make a name for yourself.
Okay.
This one feels a bit more grandiose.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's about establishing a reputation,
Mm-hmm.
becoming known for something truly remarkable.
So it's less about the climb itself and more about the destination, like reaching a point where your name is synonymous with excellence in your field.
Precisely. Think of historical figures who have made a name for themselves.
Yeah.
Scientists, artists, entrepreneurs who have made groundbreaking contributions.
Right.
It's about achieving a level of recognition that transcends time.
Wow, that's powerful. And I bet it would impress an IELTS examiner if you could weave that into your speaking or writing tasks.
Absolutely. Imagine you're asked to discuss the qualities of a successful person.
Okay.
You could say one key characteristic is the drive to make a name for themselves, not for fame's sake, but for the positive impact they can have on the world.
Nice. Okay, now this next idiom is one of my favorites.
Right.
A feather in one's cap. It's so visual.
I agree. It's a beautiful idiom.
Yeah.
It evokes a sense of pride and accomplishment,
Mm-hmm.
almost like a knight receiving a badge of honor for their bravery.
Or like earning a gold star for a job well done,
Yeah.
but on a much grander scale.
Yeah. Exactly. It signifies a tangible symbol of success, something you can proudly display as a testament to your hard work and talent.
And I bet you could use this idiom to describe any kind of achievement,
Mm-hmm.
big or small.
Absolutely. In an IELTS writing task, you can use it to describe a personal accomplishment, like completing a challenging project.
Okay.
You could say, graduating with honors was a real feather in my cap, a culmination of years of hard work and dedication.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about reaching goals and achieving success in our careers and academics.
Right.
But let's be real, the path to success isn't always smooth sailing, is it?
Very true. There are bound to be obstacles,
Yeah.
setbacks, and moments of doubt.
Yeah.
And that's where the next category of idioms comes in,
Right.
those that describe overcoming challenges.
Because sometimes success is less about avoiding those challenges and more about how we deal with them,
Exactly.
how we persevere.
Yeah.
And our source material has some fantastic idioms for that.
It does. And some of them are quite evocative, like weather the storm, which really captures that feeling of resilience
Mm-hmm.
in the face of adversity.
Okay, let's unpack that one. Weather the storm.
Right.
I can almost picture a ship battling through a fierce storm waves, crashing against it,
Yeah.
but somehow staying afloat.
Exactly. It's about having that grit and determination to ride out those tough times,
No.
knowing that calmer seas will eventually prevail.
And sometimes weathering those storms requires putting in extra hours,
Uh-huh.
burning the midnight oil, right?
Absolutely. Burn the midnight oil speaks to those sacrifices we make,
Mhm.
the late nights we endure when we're truly committed to achieving something important.
Right.
It's about pushing through that fatigue, knowing that every moment of effort brings us closer to our goal.
And it's another idiom that would work well in an IELTS context.
Yes.
Imagine you're asked to describe a time you faced a significant challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, I knew I had to burn the midnight oil to meet the deadline, but the sense of accomplishment I felt when I finished made it all worthwhile.
Excellent example. It not only uses the idiom effectively,
Right.
but also demonstrates your ability to convey your work ethic and resilience.
Okay, now there's one more idiom in this category that I really want to discuss.
Okay.
Keep your eye on the prize.
Yes.
It's about focus, right?
Exactly.
Staying motivated even when things get tough.
It's about having that laser-like focus on your goal, even when distractions and obstacles threaten to derail you.
Right.
Think of marathon runners pushing through exhaustion and pain, their eyes fixed on the finish line.
It's like having that internal compass
Mm-hmm.
always pointing you back in the right direction,
Yeah.
no matter what storms are brewing around you.
You got it. And you can even use it in an IELTS writing task where they ask you to discuss the importance of setting goals.
Okay.
You could say, it's essential to keep your eye on the prize, to have a clear vision of what you want to achieve in order to stay motivated and on track.
That's a great tip.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground here, from achieving goals to overcoming challenges.
We have.
But our source material doesn't stop there. It also gives some practical advice on how to use these idioms effectively,
Right.
especially in those IELTS speaking and writing tasks.
That's right. It's not just about knowing the idioms.
Right.
It's about being able to use them naturally and appropriately in different contexts.
So let's dive into that next.
Yeah.
Because learning these idioms is one thing, but using them confidently in a high-pressure situation like an exam is another.
Absolutely. And we're here to give you the tools and confidence to do just that.
You know, as we've been talking about these idioms, I've been thinking about how much they reveal about our attitudes toward success.
Yeah, it's true. They're not just phrases. They offer a glimpse into our cultural values,
Mm.
about achievement.
Like go the extra mile.
Right.
It's not just about doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going above and beyond,
Yeah,
which is highly valued in many cultures.
exactly. And make a name for yourself. It speaks to our ambition,
Right.
that desire to leave a lasting legacy.
Right.
It's not just about personal gain. It's about making a mark on the world.
And even those idioms about overcoming challenges like weather the storm or bite the bullet,
Right.
they highlight resilience
Mm-hmm.
and the ability to face difficult situations head on.
It's fascinating how these seemingly simple phrases
Yeah.
can carry so much cultural weight.
So how can our listener use this insight to their advantage? Let's say in an IELTS exam.
Well, understanding the deeper meaning behind these idioms can help make your language more nuanced and impactful.
Right.
For example, in an IELTS writing task,
Okay.
where you're discussing the qualities of a successful person, you could say, they not only worked hard, but also went the extra mile, demonstrating their commitment and dedication.
That's a great example.
Mhm.
It shows the examiner that you understand the cultural context
Right.
of the idiom and can use it effectively to make your point.
And remember, context is everything. You wouldn't use hit the jackpot
Right.
to describe a success that was achieved through years of hard work. In that case, a feather in one's cap
Right.
or come out on top might be more appropriate.
So it's not just about memorizing a list of idioms.
No.
It's about understanding their subtle meanings and when to use them.
And that's where practice comes in.
Right.
The more you use these idioms in different situations, the more natural and confident you'll become.
So our listeners should think of this deep dive as a starting point,
Oh,
a springboard to further exploration and practice.
exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Play with these idioms in your everyday conversations. Write them down in different contexts and see how they feel.
Because ultimately the goal is to make these winning idioms a natural part of your vocabulary.
So that you can express yourself with more color, confidence, and impact.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in an IELTS exam, a job interview, or just a casual conversation.
Well, I think we've given our listener a lot to think about today and hopefully some valuable tools to boost their language skills.
I agree. And remember, the journey to mastering idiom is ongoing. So keep exploring, keep practicing, and keep those winning words flowing.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into winning idioms. Thanks for joining us, and good luck on your language learning adventure.